Hi, welcome to Just Common Sense. My name's Brian Harrison. All right, guys, we're going to be talking about a few things today. We're not going to do a really long podcast today because it's Valentine's Day, and I want to tell you guys Happy Valentine's Day. And guess what you get for that? And if you don't get your spouse anything, guess what you're getting? I thought you guys might like that. That was funny, I thought. Anyway, we're going to talk about something. We're going to go back to a podcast. Oh my gosh, I was number 4 or 5 of my podcast. It goes way, way back. So we're going to talk about what I call conditioning. Okay? Remember, I said conditioning is baby steps. They take a step up, they take a step back. They take 2 steps up, they take 1 step back. They're getting you conditioned. So where I want to go with this is mask. We're going to talk about mask. So how many of you guys out there are driving around seeing people by themselves with mask on in the car? How many of you are out there seeing people riding their bicycles by themselves with a mask on? Walking by themselves with a mask on? Outside. I recently heard from Larry, who has been on the show before. He actually saw somebody on the beach. I'm not kidding you. On the beach with a mask on by themselves. How stupid. It's called conditioning, people. It really is. And if you think about it, it's not just the left. There are conservatives out there and that are still wearing masks, even though they may be in a city where they don't have mask mandates. And it's not that they're afraid of the virus. It's habit. It's conditioning. I talked about this before in one of my podcasts, like I said. And think about this. For those of you who had the mask on for a long period of time, and then you take the mask off, you feel kind of weird. Do you? Some of you feel like, oh my gosh, I'm not protected. My point. It's called conditioning, guys. So again, we're starting to see this in schools where they're trying to get rid of mask mandates. Cities where they're dropping mask mandates. There are people actually who I want to say who are intelligent enough not to wear the mask anymore. And some people are going to give me flack on this, but you know how I feel about these masks. And I've spoken to doctors and many other nurses and everything else. We've talked about the 95 mask, how it works, needs to be fitted, good for 2 hours through a smell test. Other masks are just blood masks. These blue masks are blood masks. You might as well put 50 of them on. That might protect you as you pass out not breathing, just like an N95. It's tough to breathe out of those things. So I want you to go back and I want you to think about things. And I want you to do some steps here. And for some of you, oh my gosh, you're going to get nervous. You're going to want to hide in your basement. We know who they are. But get rid of the mask. Walk outside. Breathe the fresh air without mask on outside. When you're by yourself out there, again, don't wear the mask. Now, for those of you who are in nursing homes and things like that, I totally for the mask if it helps them. Okay? But again, I have talked to enough doctors, especially with the Omicron and stuff, that the Omicron is not, the masks are not working with the Omicron. And some of the other viruses, like I said, the other ones, Delta and all, again, it doesn't work 100%. It's maybe a teeny bit. Maybe a teeny bit if you were to sneeze, cough, things like that. Might help that way. But again, it's time to get rid of the conditioning. You notice some of these liberal cities, states, are dropping this because they're seeing what's going on with Biden's poll numbers. This guy's a problem. We see it all the time. He's attacking the news media. He doesn't like what they say. because the news media is not all on his side now. Because some of them are starting to wake up and say, ooh, our ratings are down. We better do something, because I've said this before about news media. A lot of them don't report real news. They want the drama. They want the negative, because that's what people apparently feed off of. And it's sick. So that being said, I just wanted to go into that. I'm seeing, obviously, we see masks out there on the ground. Guys, pick up your mask. Don't leave it on the ground. It's disgusting. It's like leaving a dirty diaper on the ground. Let me tell you another thing. For those of you who wear masks and still go into restaurants to walk your 2 or 3 feet to get to a table, which is ridiculous. I've seen you in there and you're putting your mask on a table. Don't do it. It's disgusting. It's like having a diaper on a table. It really is. And people have to eat off that. And if you're whatever germs, not saying it's COVID, it could be other germs. There's other germs everybody carries. You're putting that on the table. It's just disgusting. Think about it, guys. Really think about it. So I've seen a lot of that. So I'm just I'm like, ugh, disgusted by that stuff. Anyway, I just wanted to bring that up. Also, we're going to be talking tomorrow night. And I imagine we're going to be talking about, guess who? Hillary Clinton. And we're going to listen to a little segment here. And it's going to be a little hint of what we're going to talk about tomorrow night.
Congressman, I wanted to bring up a tweet that might have seemed innocuous a little bit back in 2016. This is the candidate, Hillary Clinton. At the time, she wrote, computer scientists have apparently uncovered a covert server linking the Trump organization to a Russia-based bank. And then this statement from Jake Sullivan, who's now the national security advisor, but worked for Hillary at the time. He says this line of communication may help explain Trump's bizarre adoration of Vladimir Putin and endorsement of so many pro-Kremlin positions throughout his campaign. It raises even more troubling questions in light of Russia's masterminding of hacking efforts that are clearly intended to hurt Hillary Clinton's campaign.
Yeah.
And as you look back on those and have this new information from John Durham, what do you think?
Well, they were creating the very news they were then tweeting about and trying to get the media to write about. This is, frankly, it's no different. It's the template that the left uses, that the Democrats use. It's the same thing that happened 4 months ago when we found out the Department of Education went out and solicited the letter from the National School Boards Association so they could do what they wanted to do, namely spy on parents. The same thing happened here. And this is what's so egregious and so wrong about it. I mean, you think about it, they spied on a presidential campaign. That's as wrong as it gets. But then we found out from this filing that they actually spied on a sitting president, which is even worse. So this is just simply as wrong as it can possibly be. Thank goodness that Mike Turner is exactly right. We do need to investigate this stuff, get to every bit of information we can, if in fact the people give us the majority here in a few months.
Okay. So guess what? Information's starting to come out about Hillary, who is going to run again. She said, we think she was talking about it. This will be very, very interesting, guys. We've said it from Jerry, and I've said this from the beginning of the podcast. We talked about Hillary. We talked about the corruption. We talked about Russian collusion, which was a lot of garbage. So we'll be talking about this tomorrow night. I'm going to see if Jerry wants to be on the show tomorrow night, and he will love to talk about this. I'll have to have a conversation with him later about this, see if he'll be on. But that being said, we will be talking about this tomorrow night, and we'll get more information as this goes. And it looks pretty bad for Hillary. It looks pretty bad for these guys. But again, as we'll see, she's slippery as a weasel. I mean, she will probably find some way to get out of it. She always does. But anyway, guys, as always, I want to thank our truck drivers right now. You guys are going through a lot. We're going to see what they do here in the U.S. I think March 1st. Thank you for not doing anything at the Super Bowl last night, guys. I just think that wasn't the place to start. I think that if you guys are going to do this, rumor has it March 1st, somewhere around there. We'll see if this happens or not. Again, also, the Canadian truck drivers, we know you guys are out there. Thanks for everything you're doing. Just don't block bridges. Let people get to work. That's what I say. I know Some of my friends one or two of my friends are going, oh, let's block the. No, because we're falling right into what BLM does and what Antifa does. We can't do that. We can't go down that road. Yes, we can run around cities, do whatever, but that's fine. Let people get to work. Also, I want to thank our first responders. You guys are awesome. You did a wonderful job these last couple years. Dealing with COVID, now you're dealing with vaccine, mandates on you, and some of you don't want this. Again, that's what the truck drivers are doing, trying to stop that, trying to support you guys as well. And again, it's freedom of choice. Thank you for our military out there. You guys are awesome too. You guys are going through the same stuff, obviously. And our law enforcement, you guys are awesome. We really appreciate everything you do. And guys, God bless you. Have a great day. And I am going to go spend time with my wife because it's Valentine's Day. So you guys do the same thing. Take care and have a great evening. God bless you. God bless America. And thank you for listening.